Bonjour, je m'appelle Sébastien Gates avec une entrevue avec Ishmael Beah qui a récemment déménagé de Sierra Leone. Bonjour Ishmael.
Bonjour Sébastien, merci pour m'avoir demandé de faire cette interview.
Alors, quelques questions pour vous. It has come to my attention that this interview is in fact in English. My apologies. Alright, so first question. Describe the feeling you had during your time in the war.
Yes. At the beginning of the war, when I still had something to lose, I was always worried, frightened. Not for my own well-being, but for their own. As time grew darker, as my family was gone, I became cold, a soulless shadow, fighting for my life. I was alone, even with my newly met brothers along the way. My few soldiers for whom I was fighting beside, I was always alone.
That's very interesting. How can you justify your actions throughout the war, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh yes, don't worry. I have no problem with you asking me that. During the war, I myself wasn't making the decisions my body made. The rush of the war and the will to survive were making those decisions for me. Now that I have been placed back in reality, I can see just how awful my actions were. But I did what I did just to stay alive. Killing people got me on the lieutenant's good side, you know. I got more special privileges, and that means I would stay alive longer. I know it doesn't sound right or even human, but it was the only choice a kid like me had.
Alright, very interesting. What do you think will end up happening in Sierra Leone?
Well, to be honest, I don't know. I'm hoping the war ends soon, but I'm in serious doubt. The rebels are not going to stop until they get what they want, and the government is not willing to give that up. I'm just hoping for less death and more peace in my home country sooner rather than later.
Very unique take on things, that's for sure. Would it be possible for you to give us a moment in the war that really sticks out to you? It doesn't have to be G-rated, of course.
Yes, thank goodness it doesn't have to be G-rated, because then I would have nothing to tell you. At the time, it wasn't anything, but now that I think about it, it was actually one of the most important parts in the war. Slicing a man's throat like it was nothing. One quick slice. He dropped to the ground, and I got rewarded by becoming junior lieutenant. At the time, it was a huge honor. But now, I wish I had done none of it.
Wow, that is impossible to even imagine. Tell me about your family. Did you have any siblings? How was life at home before the war?
Yes, I grew up with my mother and father, as well as my brother, who I was separated from when they got captured by the armed man. I don't know if he is alive or not, but I wish the best for him, whichever life he is in. Anyways, I grew up loving rap music and hanging out with my brother and his friends. We performed rap songs to each other, classics, like Run DMC and stuff. Life was good. School was alright. I had great, loving parents. The best any kid could ask for. I love them, but I also love my new family here in New York.
If it's alright, may I ask you what would have happened to you if you were caught by the rebels?
Yes, well, I would have been beaten till I was unconscious. They would have taken me to the base, where a general would have tortured me until my heart lacked the courage to resist, and I would have given up ally intel. And if I had enough courage, they would simply chop me up, leaving my head for last.
Wow, deep stuff right there. Can you justify why so many civilians fear teenage boys?
Yes. The rebellion army would take over the villages, rape the women, beat the old men, and brainwash the young able-bodied to believe in their cause. Young men were most feared because of their fearlessness, how easy they can be manipulated, and the fact that they look innocent. It was very hard to tell the angels from the devils.
Can you discuss the pastimes that took place at the base while you were not fighting?
Yes. Well, to take our minds off the horror, we would smoke the green and snort the brown, as well as take the little white tablets Lieutenant would give us to turn us into monsters. I never thought I would be like those rebels I frowned upon, except on a different side. We would all watch and aspire to be like Rambo. We all wanted to be the war machine he was.
Can you describe the feeling you had the first time you had to take someone's life?
Yes. Well, the first person I killed was not face to face. That was in a firefight. I did not see the man I took the life from. It is much different when you stare into the eyes of the soul who is about to pass. As I said, when I slit the man's throat, I could feel the emotions running through him. Anger, sadness, loneliness, regret. His eyes turned dark and his body was cold. Once the soul leaves a body, it is no more.
How can you compare your personality before and during the war?
Well, at the start of the war, I had something to lose. Happiness, family, friends, a life to go back to. I had hoped for a better future. However, during the war, my mind and soul became cold, and I felt bare. I had no remorse, no empathy for anyone. I did not think about my actions and how they would affect the future. I did what I saw fit in the moment.
Well, that's all the time we have this week, guys. Thank you, Ishmael. Join us next week on The Runaway.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right. Very interesting. What do you think will end up happening in Sierra Leone?
Yes, well, to be honest, I don't really know. I mean, of course, I'm hoping that the war ends fairly soon, but I'm in serious doubt of that.
I got it. I got it.
she's gonna like that?
Can you justify why so many civilians feared teenage boys?
That was just the one that we did.
Definitely wasn't.
Pretty sure it was.
Because this one was